Welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss the current affairs of 25th of October 2025. So, like this video, comment if you have any doubts and share this video to your friends. Do not forget to subscribe to this video. And one of the topics of discussion today is that first we will be discussing about the reformist Sree Narayanaguru of Kerala. Then we will be discussing about INS Mahe, a submarine warfare vessel. And then we will be discussing about fibromyalgia and what is that and why, what are the causes, all those we will discuss. And climate action and COP30, which is a very important topic for both prelims and mains, we will discuss. And also finally prelims focus. The first topic is regarding Sree Narayanaguru. Recently our Honorable President Marmu hails Sree Narayanaguru as one of the India's greatest spiritual reformers. So this would be asked in the preliminary examination, because this is related to a Satyagraha movement. And what is that we will discuss. Kerala society in late 19th century was caste ridden and there was severe social discrimination against these lower caste. So like Elavas, Pulayas and other backward groups faced untouchability and social exclusion. And Narayanaguru emerged as a reformer, very important concept because he was not just a spiritual leader but also a social reformer. So he combined spiritual enlightenment with social activism and he helped in bringing a positive change in the Kerala society. So he was a social reformer, spiritual leader and philosopher from Kerala, and he championed social equality, education, economic upliftment, particularly for the Elava community. This can be a question and other oppressed classes. And what is his message? One caste, one religion and one God for man. So what did he do to uphold this message is that he installed a Shiva idol himself and he defied this Brahmanical monopoly on temple rituals. He said that anyone can do puja, anyone can worship Lord Shiva by installing Shiva idol himself. And he marked the beginning of religious democratization in Kerala. See the word religious democratization in Kerala. And he promoted ethical and moral purity over ritualistic worship. Because worship in terms of religion, the major issue is ritualism having upper hand compared to spiritualism. That is a major issue. But what he upheld was that ethical and moral purity. He also emphasized universalism and spiritual equality. Everybody deserves spiritualism. And he criticized caste discrimination and untouchability. And he is the spiritual founder and first president of Sree Narayana Dharma Paripalana Yogam, also called as SNDP Yogam. And what is the aim of this yogam? To propagate Sree Narayanaguru's teaching, to promote education, social upliftment and economic empowerment, and also to fight against the caste discrimination and untouchability. So what are the literary works? Atmo Padesa Satakam, 100 verses of self-instruction. Jadi Nirnayam, so it is a critique of caste. Daiva Dasaham, 10 verses to God. And Darshana Mala, a garland of visions of the absolute. So, very important concept is that Vaikom Satyagraha, because important leaders are involved in this. Vaikom Satyagraha, the year 1924 to 25, was a non-violent protest in Travancore. So, to secure the temple entry rights and free public access to roads surrounding the Vaikom Mahadeva temple, this prohibited the lower caste. It's one of the very important example where religion upheld the caste discrimination. The entry to the temple is not allowed for people from the lower caste, and this Satyagraha is to be against it. And T.K. Madhavan, K.P. Kesava Menon and K. Kelapan are considered the pioneers of Vaikom Satyagraha. And Sree Narayanaguru actively supported this movement alongside Periyar, known as the Socrates of South Asia. Next is the prelims question regarding it. The slogan one caste, one religion, one God for man is associated with which of the following reformers? The answer is Sree Narayanaguru. Next topic we are going to discuss is about Indian naval ship INS Mahe. So, Cochin Shipping Yard, that is CSL, has recently delivered INS Mahe to Indian Navy. So what is this? What is the speciality about INS Mahe is that it is the first of 8 anti-submarine and warfare, anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft. So this is the first of 8 anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft, and it is built and delivered by the Cochin Shipyard Limited. That can be a question. So the classification, so this classification is according to the Det Norske Verista standards. So this standard decides the classification, and it is indigenously designed and constructed. That is why it is an important current affairs, indigenous construction. And other anti-submarine warfare shallow water crafts, like we are planning for 8 anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft examples, like INS Arnala, INS Androth come under this classification. They are under construction. The specification includes it's a 78-meter vessel, and the propulsion system used is the diesel engine water jet combination. They might give you nuclear powered as an option, but it is diesel engine water jet combination, and it's the largest Indian naval ship using this particular propulsion. So this is also very important. It's an extreme statement, but it is a very important concept. So what are the capabilities? It is capable of underwater surveillance. As we told, anti-submarine warfare. Submarines are not visible on the surface. So this is very particular about this underwater surveillance, search and rescue operations, low intensity maritime operations, coastal anti-submarine warfare, and advanced mine laying. And it strengthens India's shallow water capability. See, India is a peninsular region, and anti-submarine warfare is one of the very important strategic concept, because being surrounded by water, it is an advantage, and also it has its own downfall, where anti-submarine warfare will definitely protect us from submarine attacks. It also enhances coastal defense and maritime security in Indian Ocean region. So what is anti-submarine warfare? So you can see in this picture, basically anti-submarine warfare is to detect, track and neutralize enemy submarines. And how do they do it? They use certain technologies, like sonar is used. Why sonar is used is because radar is less efficient compared to sonar in terms of water based detection. So active sonar, it emits sound pulses and detects echoes, and passive sonar listens for sound made by the submarine. So this way sonar is helpful in terms of anti-submarine warfare. And also magnetic anomaly detectors and radar is also used. Electro-optical sensors also used in terms of anti-submarine warfare. Surface ships, what are the platforms regarding anti-submarine warfare? Sometimes we use surface ships. We also use submarines, aircrafts and unmanned systems are also used in this process. The weapons include torpedoes, which creates torpedoes inside the water, which will disturb the movement of the submarines. Depth charges, ASW rockets and missiles are used in this warfare system. So INS Mahe, recently seen in the news, is what? It is a first indigenous nuclear power submarine. I told you this will be an option. An advanced offshore patrol vehicle designed for coastal surveillance. It's an anti-submarine warfare shallow water crafts. Shallow water. So coastal region we mostly have shallow water, and that is a need. It is not an aircraft carrier, so option is C is the right answer. The next topic we are going to discuss is about fibromyalgia. So this fibromyalgia is a chronic condition, and this will create pain all over the body. And one more thing is that we don't have a clear identification of what is the cause of this fibromyalgia. And we also should understand that women are more prone to this particular condition compared to men. So what is this? It is a pain disorder involving chronic muscle and soft tissue pain, and the symptoms include fatigue, sleep problems, memory and concentration issues. Next is mood disturbances such as anxiety and depression, flare-ups, etc. are under the symptoms of fibromyalgia. So women are more likely to develop it, and it may run in the family, and one of the major causes that we suspect is a stress. So the exact cause unknown. There are multiple factors. One is it can be a genetic concept, like polymorphism in 5-HTT-LPR gene, or it is a brain and nervous system dysfunction, or imbalances in brain chemical, and also it is triggered by physical trauma, illness or emotional stress. And diagnosis, there is no specific test, and diagnosis is based on the symptom history and also family history. Physical examination is done, and excluding other condition, they'll just try to exclude the other possible condition, and then finally they'll come to this fibromyalgia. Because symptoms overlap with other illness, diagnosis is going to be very tough, because you see fatigue, sleep problems, memory concentration issues are outcomes of many other conditions also. So, to finally diagnose this condition, we have to eliminate other possible condition, then we can come to this particular diagnosis. And what is the treatment? The major aim is to manage the symptom, because sometimes reversal can be tough and we have to improve the quality of life. So, the treatment option includes medication, like we saw pain as one of the outcome. So, pain relievers, antidepressants and anti-seizure drugs can be given as a treatment. And exercise, so not just medication, lifestyle changes also have to be done. Rehabilitation is also an important concept. So, gentle water based activities to strengthen muscle and aid sleep. Then cognitive behavioral therapy to manage stress, and also patient education. The patient should be aware of the trigger factors and should be careful regarding that. Next is in terms of Indian context, the Open Rheumatology Journal studied 121 patients in 2023 and found that high rate of psychological comorbidities and sleep disturbances are major outcomes of this. And also there is a lack of Indian research on this particular condition. So, this is calling for a greater awareness. We should work on this, more R&D, more treatment, more understanding of the causes should be done regarding this. And the prelims question based on this, what we can expect is, with reference to fibromyalgia, consider the following statement. It's a chronic disorder characterized primarily by inflammation of joints and bones, but we saw it is the soft muscles. So, this statement is not correct. Women are more likely to be affected than men. That is true. Cognitive behavioral therapy and regular exercise can help manage the symptom. That is also right. So, answer is 2 and 3 only, since the first statement is not correct. The third current affair we are going to discuss today is climate action and COP30. So, the upcoming COP30 should address what? So, the Conference of Party is a very important concept, and this will be asked question regarding in prelims. You will be asked which year it took place, where it took place kind of question. In mains, they will ask you to analyze, because the state of climate action report gives us a understanding of how what is the result of the steps we are taking for both adaptation and mitigation mechanisms. What is the state of climate action report? So, this state of climate action report is released annually by the System Change Lab. This assesses the world progress in terms of this Paris Agreement goal, limiting the global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So, that is the concept. So, what are the positive developments according to this report? We are trying to reach the clean energy milestone, that over 50% of global electricity in the first half of 2025 is through the renewable energy. And there is an investment surge in terms of this clean energy, and it grew 10% higher in early 2025. And also global climate engagement, where many nations are preparing revised NDCs ahead of COP30. But what are the concerns? Record coal use. Coal is still in use, which is emitting the major greenhouse gases. That is almost 8.8 billion ton of coal has been consumed in 2024. And rising greenhouse gas emissions past 10 years are the hottest on the record, and insufficient clean energy scale. We are investing, but is it sufficient? That is a major question. Though it is record breaking, it cannot neutralize fossil fuel use. That is a major concern. And there are policy reversals, like anti-low carbon policies in major economies may further hinder climate progress. Specifically, Trump administration is doing this. Why COP30 is a critical moment? So, this will set global emission path till 2035. That's a major concept. And the chance to align with Paris target after week 2015 nationally determined contribution, we are expecting that we are expecting a course correction here. And also, what is the method, what is the efficient method to reach 1.5 degree Celsius goal, and what is a realistic opportunity right now? An ambition gap. So, summit must push for stronger pledges, and also investment. Record clean energy funding is required. More action is required. So, what are the steps to be taken in this aspect is that we have to phase out coal usage. So it has to be eliminated over 10 times faster. And deforestation has to be reduced because it is one of the very important support in terms of reducing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Technological carbon removal, where carbon sequestration and direct carbon capture can be the technologies used to reduce the carbon or greenhouse gases level in the atmosphere. And also climate finance. So this is very important for just a transition. So nearly 1 trillion has to be into this climate finance. And the world is moving in the right direction, but it is very slow. That is something we should understand. It's not like we are not moving, but it is very slow. Clean energy investments are increasing. It's a positive trend, but it is of less pace. So COP30 must ensure that countries scale up their ambitions and turn climate promises into concrete action to prevent dangerous warming. So what would be the main question you can expect? Global efforts on renewable energy are growing, but coal use and greenhouse gas emissions remain high. So analyze the factors responsible for this paradox and suggest measures that COP30 can adopt to ensure that countries meet the Paris Agreement's 1.5 degree Celsius target. So this global efforts on new energy, renewable energy are growing. You have to talk about what are the investments and what is India doing regarding this. All these we have to talk about. And then the factors responsible for this paradox, even though the countries are investing or putting in efforts regarding renewable energy, but still greenhouse gas emission is higher. So this paradox we have to talk about. How even though we are trying to move to another forms of energy, is it clean? Is it green? That is a question we have to ask in this this question. And then we have to talk about the measures that COP30 can adopt. So when we are writing mains, what happens? Maybe even COP30 might be over and we might take points from the COP30 conference also. So next question, next topic we are going to discuss is Prelims Focus. First is Vartalap. So it is a regional media workshop held at Konark and it is organized by the Press Information Bureau in Bhubaneswar. So the aim is to strengthen collaboration between the government and the media in effective public communication, because media is known as the fourth pillar of democracy. So the linkage, the communication between the government and media is a very important concept in democracy. Next is military combat parachute system. So this has successfully undergone a combat free fall jump from an altitude of 32,000 feet. So it is indigenously developed by Defence Research and Development Organization, and the achievement includes it's the only parachute system currently in operation used by the Indian Armed Forces. It is capable of deployment even above the 25,000 feet. So that is a major advantage. It reduces the dependency on other nations. So in terms of defense, when the dependency is reducing, it's a very big strategic advantage. And the nations for serviceability during times of conflicts and war. So we specifically at the time of need, depending upon other nation would be a very important setback. So Joint Defence Cooperation Meeting, the next topic. The Joint Defence Cooperation Meeting in New Delhi took place. It is between India and Ethiopia, and it is marking a new chapter in bilateral defence partnership. The aim is to underscore the growing strategic partnership, and it is to reaffirm their shared resolve to enhance cooperation in areas of mutual interest for both India and Ethiopia. Next is FASTag Annual Pass. FASTag Annual Pass crosses 25 lakh users mark in the 2 months of launch. The aim is to provide safe, smooth and seamless travel experience on national highways across the country. So what is a one-time fee payment? Rupees 3,000 for 1 year and validity for 200 toll plaza crossings. It is valid for all non-commercial vehicles with a valid FASTag. So it is applicable on about 1,150 toll plazas on national highways and national expressways. Next is State Tourism Ministers Meet. It is a platform that brings together tourism ministers and senior officials from all states and union territories to develop at least one globally benchmark tourist destination in every state and UT, aligning with India's broader Vikshit Bharat roadmap. So that is about State Tourism Ministers Meet. What is the key outcome? 50 destinations for tourism focusing on private sector led tourism hub development and also providing perform linked incentives. So generally in manufacturing sector we call it as production linked incentive. Since it's a service sector, tourism is a service sector concept, it is having performance linked incentives. It introduces a PLI based destination maturity model to incentivize and reward high standards of destination management. It serves as a platform to advance the vision of one state, one global destination announced in the Union Budget 2025 to 26. With reference to electronic toll collection systems in India, consider the following statement. FASTag is a prepaid rechargeable tag that uses RFID, radio frequency identification technology, to make toll payments. FASTag is mandatory for all vehicles at national highways, and RFID technology used in FASTag allows for automatic vehicle identification without stopping at toll plazas. So what is the answer? So answer is all the three statements are right here, 1, 2 and 3. So you need not, like when you go inside the toll plaza, there will be a barcode on the car, specifically the windshield of the car, and it will be scanned by the scanner, RFID scanner, and you will be allowed. So this is the concept about this FASTag. We have successfully completed today's discussion. Do not forget to like, comment if there is any doubt, and share this video to your friends. Also post your mains answer in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe for further updates regarding relevant current affairs for UPSC. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.